here in the Bay Area. Today I'd like to share with you how to roast fish in a very simple and delicious way. The fish we'll be roasting today will be salmon and a nice light fish, nice light white fish called tilapia. This is a freshwater fish. It seems to be very plentiful at the stores these days. So I want to teach you how to cook these fish in a very simple yet delicious method. The salmon we'll just place on a roasting pan. So this is a baking sheet. I've lined it with aluminum foil just for an easy cleanup. You can do it without, but I'm all about easy entertaining, making my life easier by making it easier for cleaning. I've preheated my oven to 400. The key to success in roasting vegetables or fish or steak or chicken, you really want to be sure to preheat that oven and let it preheat for about a half an hour. So when you put your food in there, it'll really get the full benefit of a preheat. So I put mine on 400 like I said. So for our salmon, we are going to use, it's important that when you're cooking salmon, any fish, that you want to give it some moisture so it's able to make it through the roasting process without drying out. So some of the items that I'll be using today are olive oil. Very simple, delicious, easy, gives it a little moisture. Not too much because we're going to use a few other moisturizers. So the next item you can use is some delicious white wine. This gives it a nice flavor as well. And if you don't want to use some white wine, then go ahead and use some vegetable broth or chicken broth, whatever you have in the house. But these are great moisturizing agents for your food. So I'm using some white wine with my fish. And it's a nice light dry wine. See how that moisture is going on there? Okay, believe it or not, all this is going to be dried up while it's in the cooking process. So next, I want to give it some fresh lemon juice. It's nothing like fish and lemon. Not too much. Now this is a serving for about 1.5 people. So I'm just putting a little bit on top. So now you see the liquids there together. Next, I'm going to put a few capers on this. And capers, I think, go perfect with fish. Not too many, unless you're, my family, we like a lot of capers. Okay. You can't forget your kosher salt and pepper. This really helps with bringing out the true flavor of the salmon. Not too much. Kosher salt looks like a lot because it's a big, chunky salt, but it doesn't over flavor it with salt. Next, this is how I store my ground pepper because we go through it so much here in the class. So we want to put a little ground pepper on top. Go. Put that down. And to give it a little bit of a presentation look, I'll take 2 lemons that I've sliced up from my lemon trees and put it on here. And voila. That's all you need to do to roast salmon in your oven. Next, I'd like to show you how to roast tilapia. We're going to do a little bit different method. We're going to give it a little bit of a crust without adding too many calories to it. So tilapia is a freshwater fish. It's white meat that's a little bit delicate, but very flavorful and easy to cook. And what I want to do is give it a little bit different process than what we did with the salmon. We're going to take it and drop it into some Italian herb breadcrumbs. See how that's just a light coating on there? You don't need to butter it first or put it in some oils or buttermilk or anything. Just give it a little bit of flavor. Isn't that great? Now I'll do the next one. See how the moisture from the fish is enough to make the breadcrumbs stick to it. So you're probably thinking, is she going to also put some kosher salt and pepper on there? Yes, I am. And we're also going to give it some moisture, again, so it doesn't dry out while it's roasting in a 400-degree oven. All right? Don't those look great? Now what I'd like to show you, and what you're probably thinking to yourself is, well, what kind of breadcrumbs did she use? And you know, that can be up to you. The breadcrumbs I chose to use are just an Italian style breadcrumb. There's lots of products on the market that can work for this. And if you want to make your own type of seasoning and still have a breadcrumb crust, you can do it with plain breadcrumbs. Okay? Now, what I would like to do is give that fish some moisture. The moisture I'm going to give to this will be some lemon, great lemon juice, fresh squeezed lemon juice. And we're going to just apply it on here a little bit, just to give it something. A little bit of flavor. You don't want it to rinse off all your seasoning. See that? Okay. Put this back. Now I'd like to add the kosher salt again. What I like to do when I shake on kosher salt, if you shake up high enough like this, it disperses itself around much easier than if you're really low on it. Okay, that's a great method to shake any seasoning on top of your food. Next, we will do the ground black pepper, my little convenient jar, up high. Not too much. Next, I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil on it. This is EVOO, very lightly. And since the breadcrumbs are on there, I'm going to put it a little bit around the edge because that will get soaked up while it's baking in the oven. Just give it some moisture. What else do we need to add to this? And what I like to do, like I did with the salmon, a few slices of lemon. And there you have it. Now what we're going to do is put this in the oven, 400 degrees, for 15 minutes. Both of those should be done within that time frame. Depending on how thick your salmon is, it might take a little bit longer, but I'll show you what it looks like in the end from roasting it in the oven. We're going to put this in the oven. It's going on the middle rack. You feel that oven, it's nice and hot. Those guys will cook up nice and evenly. I'll put the timer on for 15 minutes and we will take a look at it at that time. So while it's cooking in the oven, the next thing I'd like to show you is how to make a nice little sauce to go with it. It's mayonnaise sour cream sauce. So you put a little dab on your fish and with some dill, and it tastes great. Next, I'm going to show you how to prepare a simple dill sauce to go with your fish. And frankly, my kids love it with chicken, and beef, and potatoes. Very easy, very delicious. This is fresh dill. You can get this from your grocery store. We're going to chop this up into fine pieces and put this in our sauce. Very easy to cut these up. You just want to use the fronds for your sauce, and that's these little leaves on the end. My knives are very sharp, so it makes doing this process much easier. Okay, we're gonna chop this up, and we're gonna need about 2 teaspoons. Now you can get this recipe by emailing us at vivacucina@yahoo.com. I'd be glad to give you this recipe. And if you sign up with us on Facebook, you can learn about cooking events that we have. We're doing some Sunday classes. All right, so then to chop this up finely, fast, I hold the knife like this. And again, having a sharp knife makes all the difference in the world. Oh, if you could only smell this fresh dill as we cut it, it really releases all its aromas. All right, this looks pretty good. We've got it down as fine as we need it for our recipe. We may not need all of that. Oh, looks like I did a good job this time. We've got exactly what we need in here. So we just take our ingredients. So here's our, so we have the dill in here. Here's the 1/4 a cup of mayonnaise. And another favorite, sour cream. Some people substitute this with yogurt. You can do that with a plain yogurt. And then we have our fresh lemon juice that we're going to put in here. And again, that complements the fish because we have lemon juice on the fish. Okay. Just going to stir that really well. This goes so well with that fish. So do you see the dill in here? See how beautiful that is? We chopped it up nice and fine so it's dispersed through the liquid. All right, I think we've done a good job here. Next, we'll put it in a serving bowl. You can make this ahead for your dinner party or your family's dinner. Once you're through making this, put plastic wrap on it and put it in the refrigerator. It can last in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 days. Like I said, you can put this on other things other than fish. It's great with poultry and red meat. And what I like to do when I'm presenting it to my guests, I take a little sprig of dill, put it right on top, gives them an idea of what's in it. And there you go. Well, our fish is done. It's been 15 minutes. Oh, they look beautiful. See how those juices helped out? See how the salmon really absorbed that? Boy, look at these. Oh, nice and moist, beautiful. All right, that one bent a little bit. They're nicely opaque in the center. This is our salmon, roasted salmon with the skin on. And I'm going to slide off some of the skin as I go to put it on our plate. Oh, look at that. 2 delicious ways to cook fish. You can do this with any fish product that you buy in your store. And now, for the final touch, a delicious spoonful of sauce. Now this would be a lot to serve one person, so this would be 2 people. They could serve this themselves. Boy, how beautiful and delicious is this? And there you have it. This is just one of the classes you can take here at Viva Cucina. We have individual classes, group classes, kids classes, the chef's table, demonstration classes. Please don't hesitate to email us for a copy of the recipes that you just learned, and join us on Facebook so you can learn about many more of the events we have scheduled for this year. Now, we have to taste this because this was so delicious. It is asking me to taste it. Thank you. So moist, so flavorful. You will want to cook your fish this way every time. So easy, so simple. Thank you.